So we're recording Wednesday, the 25th of September. We have Hurricane Helene barreling toward us.
I wouldn't say barreling. I mean,
well, by the time it hits landfall, which is supposed to be sometime tomorrow, Thursday, it's supposed to be a Category 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's been warm these past few days. I'm sure there's a lot of warm water over the Gulf, and that's what they do over warm water. But last night, the forecast made me think that it was going to be windy right now, and it's 5:30 in the afternoon. But you get to today, and all day long today, I watched it just hang out and party in Cancun, and I guess
it's still there.
I put it off schedule.
Yeah, it's still there. I think it's supposed to make landfall. I've got this thing pulled up on the computer called Zoom.Earth. Found it from a guy's Facebook page called Mike's Weather Page on Facebook.
I'm like an interesting cat.
Yeah, he's down in Florida. He linked to it, and looking at it, and it says about 8 p.m. tomorrow afternoon is when it's supposed to make landfall in Florida. And so then by roughly 8 a.m. Friday morning, it's already supposed to be past us here in Tifton and up around Macon and, about the midpoint. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it happened this way because my birthday is Friday and I had a golf date with a friend. So
all that got canceled. Well, I mean, your birthday didn't get canceled.
We pushed to Saturday. We'll see what Saturday is like.
Anything interesting happened in the last 2 weeks for you?
Nothing really to speak of. I hear there's an election and coming up at some point, and there's some people fighting over it.
You've heard this, have you?
Yeah, I think it's trending on X.
Okay, so that was the note in here. You got on X and wasted way too much time.
Yeah, I saw a screen time report. I get them on Sunday mornings for some reason.
Yeah,
and I burned 4 hours one day scrolling Twitter.
I don't get on there.
So I'm a Twitter user, but I'm new to X. If that makes any sense, I'm new to X.
I refuse to call it X. It's Twitter.
Yeah.
Fuck Elon.
You send tweets on X.
Yeah. You don't X on X.
And you exit.
You exactly. You exit and go to Threads.
And the reason that I burned so much time, it's not that I was engaging in healthy discourse. I was
not on Twitter.
I was cruising the crazy. There was very little blinking. I mean, it was unimaginable.
Are you a masochist?
Am I?
Well, if you hung out on Twitter for 4 hours.
I mean, I didn't engage. I just was reading the comments. I would see a post and I'm like, that's clearly bullshit. But it's got 2,000-3,000 comments. I was like, let me see if they're just shitting on this person. No, they're agreeing. Oh boy. Turbo cancer and oh, wow. And I
hang out with Alex Jones.
Wow. Yeah. I just clicked on the profile. I was like, I'm not following, but there's a post, I swear, every 5 minutes. And at that point in time, we were going to be in a nuclear war with Russia by the weekend.
Wow.
And then the following Monday, because I wanted to see how it all ended up, I couldn't even find the post.
And unbeknownst to us, instead of it being a nuclear war with Russia, they apparently had something to do with Helene headed this way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way. It's either the Russians or the Chinese.
A big seance in...
Some kind of weather weapon, I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why we're getting rid of Noah, right?
Right, and it turns the frogs gay, so...
Oh, I thought that was the other way around. Isn't there a sign in National Park somewhere that says, don't lick the frog? Yeah,
don't lick the frogs.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, wow. I feel for you. I do not hang out on Twitter at all.
I would quit. I think this is a waste. And then I could not stand it. I was like, what's going on now? This is crazy. But I think I finally quit. I don't think I've opened it today.
The only time I ever get on there is I have my personal account. I have the Tifton Talks account. I have the Radio Tift account. And so whenever I do the newsletter for Tifton Talks, I post all the socials. I post to Facebook and Twitter under the Tifton Talks account. And I also post on LinkedIn, oddly enough. But that's the only time I ever get on Twitter is to do that. Matter of fact, my oldest son, Devin, he has, I don't think we talked about this in the last episode because Tyler knows a lot more about this than I do. But Devin's Twitter account is @fire, FIRE.
Yeah.
It's one of those very sought after 4-letter handles. Well, his got stolen from him, and at first it looked like the only way it could have happened was an inside job. But it was this weird thing where Devin actually bought it from another guy, I think like 10 years ago or whatever. Legitimate. You can do that stuff.
Yeah.
And the domain name that the email address was attached to, it had lapsed. So this person who managed to trick Twitter into taking the account away from Devin and giving it to them went through the effort of re-registering that domain, recreating that email address.
Oh, yeah. So they had to have some of that background information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why at first we thought, well, it was an inside job. Well, then he managed to finally get it back. And then they gave it away again. And the last I heard, he's gotten it back, and they've got a note on the account. And here's the thing. He had 2-factor enabled everything. And still, someone was able to play support. And, of course, that's not that difficult considering that there's hardly any support when it comes to Twitter because Elon fired them all. I didn't even have that in the show notes to talk about, but it just made me think when you were talking about Twitter, it was like, yeah, that's a cesspool. And I mean, and not only that, but he had like multi-thousand followers or whatever. They went and wiped all that shit out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, well, as for me, I played around with Google's Notebook LM. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's this thing where it can be used as a study aid where it can do like, you give it some information, you can give it links, you can give it all these sources, and it can create like a fact page. It can give you bullet lists and stuff like that. But one of the other things that it can do is it will give you an audio overview. The audio overview is generated with 2 distinct voices having a conversation about the source material that you fed it. It's a man and a woman's voice. And so some of the podcasters have started playing around with it. You can legitimately generate an entire podcast episode by feeding this information.
And have a discussion virtually with...
Yeah.
Do they have distinct points of view or approaches, or is it just different voices?
Yeah, I mean, it's eerie. Now, purists say, and Tyler listened to it, and he was like, it just seems too flat. I can tell that that's AI. I said, yes, that's the worst it will ever be. That's the thing.
It can only get better than that.
Yeah. And the average person, if you were to take this and play it on the radio station or play it on TV or whatever, they would not be able to determine that this is not a real people having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes they'll say a word a little weird, or maybe they'll take a breath in an odd spot or whatever, but it's very, very human-like. Jason over at Grumpy Old Geeks took their show notes from one of their previous episodes and fed it in, and it generated like a 4-minute mini podcast about what they talked about. And it was like, holy shit, we're done. Let's see, what did I do? I took our show notes, I think, from our first episode. I've generated 2. I'll link to them in the show notes here, but one of them, I created a mini episode and called it SGN Daily Dive. And I went and found 4 articles on Google News under the technology section. And then I summarized with ChatGPT each one of those articles.
Mm-hmm.
Then I copied those summarizations, fed it into Google's Notebook LM, and had it generate a conversation between these 2 individuals about these topics, and created 8 or 9 minute podcast episode out of it. So it's scary how good it is.
Yeah, I had that similar experience yesterday when I read that ChatGPT's or OpenAI's advanced voice was available.
I have not played with that.
I played with it yesterday, and was extremely impressed. I mean, the generated responses is a natural sounding voice.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear a breath being taken. There are filled pauses.
Mm-hmm.
There's it can even kind of I haven't played with it that much, but it feels like it can read my tone
Mm-hmm.
and respond in an appropriate manner. Like if I sound frustrated,
Yeah.
I know that's frustrating. And then it's a calm voice and it sounds like there's surprise when something should be surprising.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I had a conversation about philosophy today for a few minutes. I was like, there's an idea that, things that
You had a conversation with this AI about philosophy.
Yeah. What I was looking for was the term, the what this line of thought is known as.
Mm-hmm.
And I described it, and it's like, oh, it seems like what you're thinking of is determinism, and that's what it was. And went on to tell me all about it, and it's just a natural back and forth. At one point, it was responding, or talking, and I chuckled at something. I was like, and it paused and said, "Yeah, right," and then kept explaining. I was like, "This is uncanny," and this is my new toy.
Oh God.
Oh, and as you were talking about generating that Notebook LM, it was turning in my head. I was like, I could do my own podcast, convos with ChatGPT, and only post the funny ones.
Yeah. Now, I don't have this set up so we can pipe it through, so it might pick it up through the microphones. I know this is a shitty way of doing it, but I wasn't expecting to do it. But here's an example. I'm just jumping right in the middle.
Sunlight anymore, really.
Yeah, and that's a little concerning.
Yeah, it really makes you think twice about what you're posting publicly, knowing that even someone you've blocked could be looking at your stuff. It's kind of a weird power dynamic shift, isn't it?
Totally. And this whole thing has actually sparked a lot of debate about online safety versus free speech.
I bet.
Because on the one hand, yeah.
That's even more natural than ChatGPT, but Google's been working on a natural voice for a while.
Yeah. That is eerie.
Mm-hmm.
and again, the purist will go, well, I can tell. And so far, there's only those two voices. So anybody that uses this, you can immediately tell if you're listening to their podcast and you hear those two voices, you can go, oh, that came from Google Notebook LM.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Here we go.
So I did have another typewritten conversation with GPT, and I was exploring, can I roll my own LLM? And I thought I could, but you can. A lot of that's open for that kind of use.
Yeah, I think it works. It's probably equal across the board, but there's something that makes me think that it probably works better on a Mac or a Linux implementation than it does
Linux.
Yeah. So instead of Windows, but
like the large models use like tons of GPUs, and like one of the models, you might need about 300 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I don't have that much.
Not in one machine.
Yeah, not in one machine.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually use their Whisper. It's OpenAI's Whisper technology on my Mac Mini over there to do transcripts. And there you can actually get there's a guy that actually makes a slick looking app called Whisper for Mac OS. But before he produced that, I came across this document on how to actually download all the stuff and tell it which model you wanted to use and all this other kind of stuff. And that gave you some example scripts. And so what it does, it also uses FFmpeg to take your audio. It converts it into a standard format that it needs. And then there's a script. I've got two scripts. One I just called transcribe. Actually, I think I named it translate. But anyway, it creates an SRT file, which is what you need to upload to your podcast host if you want to have transcripts of the episode, which we do. We have a transcript.
Yeah.
The other thing is I have it just create me a text file of everything that was said. And I have literally taken that, fed that into ChatGPT and said, summarize and bullet point this. And then that's my show note. And I was like, oh, this stuff's getting too damn slick, you know?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the application of that, LLMs. I'm not going to call it AI.
No.
But the application of large language models.
Mm-hmm.
And I've thought of a lot of stuff, and it's probably already being done. But
I mean, as we've already...
not to a point where I can afford it, but so that's why I want to roll my own. But I also don't trust other people, cloud companies, and data processors with, like my client's data.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to feed that into a large language model and just see what trends come out, what, and what maybe other information that can be tied to, like I could feed it all my ticket data.
Mm-hmm.
And I could stream in firewall logs and
then just figure out what are the key points that I need to focus on.
Or, eventually just it's analyzing the stream and sees an anomaly. Maybe it can isolate a machine and send me a message and say, this is what I did. And I can go, why did you do that? And it can give me a perfect explanation from the information put together from 5 or 6 different systems. And it's like, we saw this. And I go, oh, okay. Or I can go, no, that was a false alarm.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, okay. Done. So.
And then and then your own company won't need you anymore.
Right. Fire myself.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and when you've got something that could reliably speak to customers when they call and make limited system changes, sign me up.
That reminds me, I've got a client. One of the things, and they've tried they've tried it in-house multiple times. They've tried these third parties multiple times. And then there was this one that was AI. It was called Brook.
Okay.
I tested it once, but it was supposed to be one of these where the customer could call in. Brook would answer. You couldn't really tell it wasn't a person.
Right.
Brook would answer and basically say, how can I help you today? And the person would explain whatever it was. And Brook would be picking out, I'm presuming, keywords or phrases out of what they were doing. And was supposed to be routing based on all of that. Mm-hmm. I think they ditched it after about 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 months, and went back to real people.
What was it? Just a problem with the quality, or was it garbage in, garbage out?
They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. So
I can assume if you don't train them right, then they're going to get things wrong. But
that was my first interaction with one of my clients actually using something considered AI for forward-facing customer service communication. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'd never heard of this company, but,
I would never advertise a live service desk and put one on there. If you're expecting a live person, you should get a live person. But if the clients have something simple, even if they don't have something simple, they can explain it, and then the LLM can spit out the probable causes, or this might actually be the issue, or the model can put the ticket in for you and put all the right information in.
Oh, yeah.
And just that is
kind of like the chat bots. Like I've had to deal with Mediacom and other companies. It's like you go online and I'm trying to get to a live person, but their version of Clippy is there trying to help me out. And and most of the time what I need is it just gives up, and it's like I'll connect you to a customer service rep, and then we're chatting, and I'm fine with that. I don't like talking to people. I mean, I don't know why I podcast, but I can do that. But all this other kind of stuff, I mean, it's I don't know. It's like I keep saying and I keep hearing, it's the worst today that it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So
it's going to get more clever. As long as you keep that physical twitch in arm's reach. That's all I can think to say is they might have a robot kill you and turn it back on, but do our best to keep the thing in check. But I can imagine the worst, and things have already happened. I mean, from systems being compromised and and all that being lost, a language model or a dynamic model like the LLM could devise ways to intrude on networks. And
yeah, I was going to say that's what worries me is
they'd be so much better at it.
Malware is already a big issue, and when you start throwing, and I know we've already got some AI or machine learning malware out there, and it's like we're gonna have to pit the white hat AI against the black hat AI.
Yeah, that's already being done. And there's machine learning in like WebRoot.
Yeah, well, you got your EDRs.
Yeah, there's EDR, and that's based on machine learning, and
yep,
all the data they have.
And now they're backing that up with MDR. I think is where it's basically EDR, but you got a team of people sitting there monitoring the stuff that's being fed back to them.
So it's a colleague of mine used to say, and he probably still says because he runs a security company, it's automation with human validation.
Yeah,
and that's about as good as it's going to get right now.
It's expensive. I looked into it.
But if you can leverage AI to filter some of that out, or provide avenues to resolution before somebody actually sees it, I think, or can go ahead and solve it themselves or limit the damage. Whatever can be done at computational speed that doesn't rely on human detection.
Yeah,
because what attacks are coming in are quite fast.
Oh yeah, they are. And I want to welcome everybody to the AI show. So
it's going to be a topic.
Yeah, it's always going to be a topic. Our favorite internet service provider, along with the VoIP provider, telephone provider, True Vista, had another phone outage that started.
They just do it so we have content for the show.
I guess. I mean, that they
because it's right on time.
Yeah, it was. My contact actually texted me I think it was between 8 and 8:30 last night. My phone goes on Do Not Disturb around 5:30 anyway, so I just happened to look at it. And he's like, we've got an outage, same problem. And I'm like, okay. So this morning, it was still out. And I don't think it came back until about 10 o'clock. But here's what is so funny. So I had to bring this to read it. Important notice. This was in my email. Important notice. Service preparations for Hurricane Helene. Dear valued True Vista customer, as we prepare for the potential impact of Hurricane Helene, we want to ensure you that True Vista is taking all necessary steps to maintain service continuity during this time. However, due to the severity of the storm, there may be power outages in affected areas, which could disrupt your internet, phone, and TV services. Please be aware that while we are actively monitoring the situation and have our teams on standby to address any issues, services dependent on electricity may be affected if your local power provider experiences outages. Okay. We recommend the following steps to stay connected. Number 1, charge all your devices, including mobile phones, laptops, in advance. Number 2, keep backup power sources such as portable chargers readily available. Number 3, this is what killed me. Follow us on social media for live updates and service restoration information. Okay. All right, let me finish this now. Your safety is our top priority, and we appreciate your understanding as we navigate this storm together. If you have any questions or need further blah, 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 blah. Okay, so 2 things out of this. Number 1, necessary steps to maintain service continuity during this time. They can't even continue service continuity without a fucking hurricane.
It's a little early to blame it on the storm.
And number 3, follow us on social media so that I can get updates on service restoration.
But that'll take the cooperation from Verizon.
That'll take cooperation from Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. They're all 3 here. Because if my service is out, I can't follow your ass on social media to find out when you're gonna. Okay, so I'm being a little facetious and pedantic here, but the timing was just. It was like we had another outage. This is like the 3rd phone outage. We had another outage, and then you get this sent out in email. Being prepared for Hurricane Helene, and you can't even keep your service running as it is. Okay, we got you. I'll get off that soapbox.
Do you think they'll put in any redundancy after this time?
No,
because that costs money.
No, we were We talked to one of their service techs. I can't remember if that was after the first episode or not. So we got one of our clients converted over to the Adtran ONT, and the service tech, we were having a conversation with him. Of course, I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to out him. But I was like, they don't have any redundancy. And he just shook his head. He goes, exactly. He said that has been a big, big, big topic, and nobody seems to want to address the fact that that circuit is the same circuit that they've had for, even when Plant owned the place. It's a Zayo circuit. And apparently there's something wrong with the damn circuit.
Like a layer 1 or? I
don't know. There's a span of time where I would get emails almost every 2 or 3 days of scheduled maintenance, Zayo maintenance for that circuit. And then it would get pushed off. And then it would happen. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here. So, and of course in Albany, it's in such a part of the town that they're like, if it's after 5 o'clock, we ain't going there.
It'll be high noon.
Sorry to shit on True Vista, because otherwise their internet service is actually fairly dependable. It's their phone part that is not. I talked to Walt today, and he asked me, he was like, how's the cable modem service? I said, let me tell you a story. Which, where we are on that,
I meant to ask you.
The ONT fiber to the home saga for dear old Donovan here.
The 10-year battle.
Yeah. So they finally looked at the fucking maps and went, shit, there's a 96 count fiber out there? And I'm like, no doubt.
Did you not take inventory when you bought the place?
Yeah, did you not know this? So they were looking at the possibility of lighting up some spare fiber so that they could maybe peel me off onto an ONT, then start peeling other people off as they could offer the service.
Yeah.
Whereas, me, I just come out here, just flip it over, and it's like, hey, bitches, here's your ONT. No, seriously, I understand the methodology.
Yeah.
So I was like, this seems positive, Well, apparently they carried this to the NOC or somebody, and they looked at it and went, no, we might need this, and we might need that, and blah, blah, blah.
Fuck your customers.
Yeah, fuck your customers. They got internet. So that's where we are right now. I haven't heard anything else. And I even told my guy, I was like, I don't expect to get it before the end of the year. I just want to know that it's happening.
Yeah.
That's all I want, And so that's where we are. The Donovan's ONT fiber to the home saga.
I just want synchronous internet.
I just want 1 gig up and 1 gig down. Hell, give me 500 by 500. I'll be happy. Anyway, my 500 by 50 is actually doing pretty good, so it's all right. I'm that one step, just like you were. I'm that one step away from actual true fiber to the home because we were RFOG. Sad news is a very good client of mine passed away at the age of 51 Saturday, and that took everybody by surprise. And so he owned a car dealership here in Tifton. It's been hard for a lot of people. So I've had to start dealing with the whole digital asset part of getting his email forwarded to a certain person and dealing with all that kind of stuff.
The onion.
Yeah, that's always fun.
I'm not looking forward to the first time I have to do that.
Yeah, it was bad enough when I had to do it for my folks, And luckily, my mom was not technically savvy at all. My dad attempted to be. So, he had email accounts and he had online stuff and all of that. So when he passed away in 2013, I had to jump in and start helping Mom figure out where all this shit was, how to log into this and that and et cetera. So I can't imagine what they're going to have to go through. Last thing, and then we'll actually get to some tech news. My lawnmower. I have a lot of sagas.
Oh, I have them too.
So I've got a lawnmower. It's a 2015. It is a Troy-built TB30R. It's one of these that's got the engines on the rear.
Yeah.
Looks like an old snapper, if you remember those old snappers from...
It's still got a steering wheel, though? It's not a zero turn?
No, it's not a zero turn.
My dad's is like Craftsman. It's that style you have.
Yeah. Well, I think what they do is they make all of these lawnmowers out of one factory, and they just slap a different name on it because it's the same as a Cub Cadet, it's the same as a Craftsman, it's the same as an MTD. So I've had some issues with it. I've had it to the repair shop. I use Chris's Mower Clinic here because they'll come pick it up because I have no way of getting the damn thing to them. And I've had some work done on it about 2 or 3 times. And so Saturday, I'm out cutting the grass. I got started. I'm a good 30 minutes in, and I started noticing that whenever I'd get into thicker grass, the sound that the deck was making, it wasn't spitting out any grass. And I'm like, okay, so that means the belt is slipping. I've experienced this with another lawnmower, the place I used to own over in Fitzgerald. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just have to slow down because I did let the grass go 1 week further than I meant to, but it's because we were doing all this cleaning and stuff. Anyway, make a couple more passes, and all of a sudden, the strain on the motor is gone. And as I turn around, I'm looking down the length of the yard, and I'm like, that's either a snake or that is the belt on my lawnmower.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me the blade was...
No, the blade didn't drop out. That would have been funny. No, the belt snapped. And I was like, oh, God. Okay. So I called Chris's Mower Clinic, and I looked up the part number on Troy Belt's site. I got the actual part number. I gave it to the guy, and he comes back about a minute or two later, and he's like, I thought we surely had this thing, but he said, I can order it for you. Be here probably about Tuesday or Wednesday. And I'm looking straight at the damn belt on Amazon, and I'm like, no, I can order it from Amazon. It'll be here Monday. He goes, I don't blame you, brother. Go ahead, do it. So, and I was a little hesitant because I've tried to replace the belt on this thing one time before, and I thoroughly fucked it up to the point that they had to come pick it up and fix it for me. So I watched a couple of different videos on how to do this. And here's the kicker. Most of the videos tell you to take the mower deck off of this thing.
That's what I do.
Then there was this one video from this guy down in Jacksonville, which is kind of funny because I'm pretty sure he's got an Aussie accent, but he lives in Jacksonville, Florida. He shows you how to replace the belt without taking the deck off. I went one step further. I didn't even have to do what he did. Now, on this deck, you've got the engagement pulley. Yeah. Okay. So it pushes the belt over to the actual main drive pulley and the belt, the blade pulley and all. All right. It's got a retaining bolt that keeps the belt up against the engaging pulley. In his situation, he had to take this whole assembly off because his retaining bolt disappeared.
Okay.
Well, mine was still there. And I couldn't get the bracket off. It kept spinning, and it's a bolt all the way through. You gotta have a wrench up under the deck, and then you got to be able to on top. You really needed another person.
You really should just take the deck off.
No, I've done that. It takes literally an hour to get that deck off, and I was like, hell no. So what I discovered was I can unscrew that retaining bolt. So I unscrewed the retaining bolt, put the belt in, put the retaining bolt back in place. I had that belt replaced in less than 10 minutes. And I didn't have to yank the deck. I didn't have to pull the bracket off or anything. And the only thing I wish I'd done is videoed it so I could have put it up on YouTube and say, this is the way you can change the belt on this thing without having to do any of this other shit. So anyway, I did that. Matter of fact, I did that Monday about midday. Was able to do it in my nice clean shop now, but it was still hot, so I had to go get a fan, and then started cutting grass. And the grass looks like shit because I let it get too tall. And I normally mulch, but I had the regular
injection port.
Yeah, and so the grass is. But next time I do it, I'm going to have my mulching attachment back on it. But I was like, yep, I don't know why I was so. How I got so screwed up the first time I tried to do this, other than the fact that this was back when I was still drinking. So
yeah,
I'm not saying I was drunk when I did it, but I've noticed.
Could have been.
I could have been. And not that this is the alcohol retirement podcast, but I have noticed that some of the benefits of not having any alcohol in your system for a year and a half is that there is a sense of clarity like I've never had before.
Oh, I bet.
You know, I can puzzle things out a hell of a lot better now than I could 2 years ago. And as much as there is a draw to like, I want a 90-minute IPA or a 60-minute or something like just that taste, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Not doing it. So I forget how many, I'm like at 486 days now or something. It's on my calendar up there.
When, well, you've been my age before. I lost the taste for beer. Well, not so much the taste. I've become lethargic. I've like one beer and one good beer.
Yeah.
Now, I can probably drink 8 Coors Lights on a mow day, but one good beer, a Fat Tire, a 90-minute.
Yeah.
I'm just done. I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my days of actually being able to drink 4 90-minute IPAs in one sitting, which was not smart.
No.
But
mostly not for anybody. In one sitting.
Yeah, in one sitting. I mean, it took me about 4 hours. That was a beer an hour.
Yeah. If you could sit back but after the first hour, when I put that empty beer bottle down, I was just going to, you know what? I'm going to hit the bed.
Yeah.
I do enjoy. I would like to taste more of it, but it's bedtime.
Yeah, see, I'd gotten to where I was actually drinking more. Now, this is the beer and alcohol show mixed in with tech. We're going back to the Ben on Beer days. I was drinking Hopscutioners.
Those are good.
Those are really good. They're palate wreckers, but...
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, I know.
But it's good. It's not just... It's balanced.
You know what's funny? The thing I've noticed about craft beer, and then we'll actually get into some tech news. Craft beer, unlike shitty beer, like Michelob Ultra, Coors Light, and all of those.
Anything you can see through.
Anything you can see through is actually, it's good cold, but it's also good warm.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I discovered.
For some reason, I was thinking about that today. Oh, we switched to good coffee. And my coffee got cold, but it didn't taste worse.
Yeah.
Folgers is garbage when it gets cold. And I thought about, a good beer is good warm.
Yeah.
Just as it is cold.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and you know what it is that makes the macro beers taste crappy?
What?
It's the adjuncts. Because to get the alcohol up there and not make it heavier, they add rice and corn to the mash.
Okay.
That's what makes it taste like ass when it gets warmer.
It does. It tastes like ass.
They call it adjunct lager.
Yeah, they should call it ass tasting lager, but all right. Anyway, okay. Let's move on. So, have you upgraded to iOS 18 yet?
A couple of days ago.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, the big thing here is Apple has introduced the Rich Communication Services, RCS, support in iOS 18, enabling iPhone users to send rich media messages and read receipts to Android users, which, good luck, because I turn my read receipts off. You can't tell if I don't allow that.
My wife doesn't get them.
Yeah. I decided I didn't, this is kind of selfish for me, but I didn't need a client to know that I just read their message and I wasn't.
Put the phone down.
And put the phone down. Because what they were, and I know this kind of sounds bad, but it's not the fact, if it'd been an emergency, I'd been on it.
Yeah.
But they were asking me a question that I could wait another 5 or 10 minutes and then I could get back to them.
Yeah.
You know, or I just didn't have an answer and I needed to look it up or whatever. So RCS functionality, of course, depends on carrier support. Apple updated its wireless carrier support page. It listed carriers that support RCS, including major U.S. carriers like AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, as well as some carriers in Canada, Europe, and Asia. So if to check if RCS is enabled, you can go to Settings, Apps, Messages, and there's a slider for it. More carriers are expected to adopt RCS in the coming months. Have you tested it? Because I tested it with Tyler.
I don't care. Honestly, I don't regularly communicate with anybody who happens to have an Android phone.
It's a rarity. I shouldn't say it's a rarity. I do have, of my client base and the people that I communicate with, I have more people that have iPhones than have Android. Mm-hmm. But I do have a select few of people that have Android. And, of course, Tyler is Android.
Yeah.
So he was still here whenever I updated to iOS 18, and we tested it. And, of course, he could see me typing and all. And now whenever if I'm sending messages, it tells me I'm sending messages, iMessage, and RCS or something. Anyway, there's a thing there.
What if they're going to have a different bubble color?
No, they're not. That was
still going to be green?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
It was going to be a big.
It's not iMessage.
It was going to be a big. That was a big contention there for a while. It was like, oh, so finally, Android users are going to get blue bubbles. No, you're still going to be relegated to second-class citizens because you're a green bubble. And I say that tongue in cheek. I don't care. Samsung's Android phones are great. Google's Pixel phones are great. I just happen to like the Apple ecosystem. I mean, I've got a MacBook Air sitting in front of me.
Yeah, I don't need I don't need to hack the phone. I just need to use it.
Yeah.
I need the apps that I have on it.
Exactly.
That work, that have passed muster. And I just need to use it sometimes as a telephone.
Yeah.
I don't want to hack it. I don't want to break it. I just want it to work. And that's why I chose that.
You know, I think the average, and this is based on some feedback that I got from my wife back whenever she was working for Joanne Fabrics. She would talk to a customer and she would ask them a question. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. And she was like, she was telling them how to get to the site, I think, to get coupons that they could get on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she would ask them, "Is like, do you have an iPhone or an Android?" They would hold up a phone and go, "I got a smartphone." They didn't know if it was an iPhone or an Android. They didn't care. All they knew was that it was a smartphone. It probably cost a shit ton of money, but then they probably didn't care about that either because they're probably paying it along with their cellular bill, $25, $30 a month. And they probably didn't care what color the texting bubbles were either.
Yeah.
So I think that is more of an elitist attitude when it comes to the green versus blue, because I don't personally care what color it is. They could make them all purple for all I care.
Well, I usually work under the assumption, and again, I can't speak to any authority because I don't know. I don't care enough to have researched fully. But I work under the assumption that if it's iMessage, it's encrypted.
Yes.
If it's SMS, the carrier can see it.
And currently right now, RCS between iPhone and Android is not encrypted.
There. And that's when it's green. I know that
But it's coming. Supposedly there's...
If the bubble is green, you don't send a dick pic.
Do you send passwords?
I don't send passwords either way.
I do. And now if it's
I have before, like a temporary password, but not typically.
Well, to me, I feel safer when I have someone that's like, hey, can you, especially if I need to copy and paste a password to somebody, it was like, I'll send it, especially if it's another iPhone user, because it is encrypted end to end and Apple can't see it.
Yeah. It turns out, nor will they give it up.
That's true. So
if it's SMS, it can be subpoenaed from the carrier.
Yeah.
And so that part.
And right now, RCS too, because like I said, they are working on it, supposedly. When that'll happen, I don't know. But that was actually...
they just have a messages app for Android?
Because that's a question that comes... Why doesn't Apple make iMessage for Android? And I'll tell you... I'll tell you why.
They don't have a spare developer?
It's not that.
An intern could do it.
I mean...
I know exactly why. I'm just talking shit.
I mean, Tim has said he said the quiet parts out loud. Basically, why give them an incentive to buy a damn Android phone?
Because they don't care either way.
You do remember...
And even if I could have iMessage on Android, I wouldn't have an Android phone.
I mean...
I'd still have an iPhone.
That's fair. There was, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there was a guy that was talking to Tim about his grandmother and the fact that his grandmother had an Android and he had an iPhone, and he'd really like for, this whole blue-green thing, and I'm paraphrasing, and Tim's response was, buy her an iPhone. Of course, he got some flack for that, but I'm like, he's not wrong. He doesn't make Android devices. He makes iPhones.
You know how often I have to help somebody use an iPhone?
Hardly any.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But when I get a call and, can you put my email on my phone? And they hand me some 5-year-old LG phone, and you go, oh, shit, I don't even know how to use this thing.
Oh, no, I know.
Is there a mail app still? Is it supported?
Gmail. Most of them come with Gmail.
Well, I mean, I need to connect them to 365, so.
It still works in Gmail.
Does it?
Yeah, I think when you go, it's kind of like in iPhone when you go to add an email account and you get the different options, like you can get Gmail and you can get Exchange.
But usually there's the built-in mail app.
Yeah.
In
Well,
Android.
if it's a Samsung, they have their own, I believe. If it's Pixel, they got Gmail. And some of the other ones probably come default with Gmail because that's kind of the deal that Google made with everybody. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I've run into that too.
But I know they work. I can send them a QR code and go say, get this app, and it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually use the Outlook app on my iPhone.
I've used it. I think it's configured. I just don't.
Yeah.
I used to mail it.
I use it. I use both, to be fair. When I check email, it uses Outlook. Whenever I'm like sending a link to the family or whatever, I think it uses the built-in mail app. So I don't know. But most of my clients, I've got them on Office 365, Microsoft 365 or whatever. I've got them on that. And there's certain things that you can do with the Outlook app, like shared mailboxes, for example.
Yeah.
You cannot do shared mailboxes in any other app other than Outlook on the devices because Microsoft removed that capability about a year and a half ago.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
So if you need it, you have to use the Outlook app.
It could present itself as another folder in the inbox, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was like, push them over to it, I guess. So you did away with your cable TV service, right?
I did.
Okay. So we got another article here about DirecTV just changed how people will watch TV forever with smaller, cheaper TV packages, hopefully coming to YouTube TV, Fubo, and more. DirecTV has reached a groundbreaking deal with Disney that will allow it to offer smaller, cheaper TV packages, potentially reshaping how people watch TV. Under the new multi-year agreement, customers will have access to genre-specific bundles such as sports or news-only packages instead of large, expensive channel lineups. The deal also integrates Disney's streaming services like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus into select packages, and DirecTV customers will get free access to ESPN's upcoming direct-to-consumer streaming service. This move brings TV closer to an a la carte model, with the possibility of other providers like YouTube TV and Fubo following suit. So, you and I both have worked for a cable company before. Mm-hmm. You briefly, but you were still there.
Never on the TV side.
Never on the TV side. I always had to deal with the NCTC, which was the National Cable Television Co-op, and that was an organization that for smaller cable companies, you could be a member, and they would go and parlay on your behalf
to negotiate with the providers.
Yeah, because there was strength in numbers, just kind of like a union,
right?
Because we weren't as big as, say, a Comcast or any of those, where they could literally go to ESPN and say, "Look, X number of dollars." No. And there was this big push back in the mid-aughts and what have you about the whole a la carte. And I kept telling people this will never happen because ESPN, you wanted ESPN a la carte, you're going to pay $18 just for the damn channel.
Yeah.
You know? Or you can pay $15 extra for the package of everything because they required us to put it in the highest penetrated tier.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm still using True Vista's TV service. And I think I've mentioned before, I tried YouTube TV. It's a superior product, but they don't have any of the stuff like the History Channel and they don't have that grouping.
Right.
If they did, I wouldn't have True Vista's television service because it fucking sucks.
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah. I found out I wasn't watching it. I didn't pay for the DVR service, so
yeah, me either.
If I'm not home for the race, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, half the time the channels will go out. We primarily stay on like Comet and Charge because like Comet plays like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
SG-1.
Some of the cool classic movies, yeah.
Charge does like CSI Miami and Criminal Intent and all that kind of shit.
And B-level action films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember flipping through and seeing one, and I go, yeah, got nothing else to do. I'll watch Conan.
But here's the thing. Most of the stuff is in 4:3. Especially the older stuff. And when they get in the newer stuff, they finally get it expanded out to 16:9. But the Comet channel on YouTube,
mm-hmm.
YouTube TV, had everything in 16:9. So here they're pulling their Comet and their Charge out of the air somewhere, I think, from a local like Albany DMA or something like that. So anyway, it's terrible. I mean, it's horrible. You can literally go to Comet's website and stream it and get better service most of the time than you can off of the True Vista app. They're going to cut my internet off, I'm pretty damn sure, if I keep bashing them like that. Anyway, so there's that. I don't know what the pricing structure is going to be. Yeah, I'm looking at the page.
Something that won't work?
Probably not. I mean, if they'll come back and they'll look at this and go, we're not making enough money. We can't do this anymore. Yeah, the article, which is over at cordcutternews.com, which is a pretty good site, there's nothing about the actual cost of the packages.
Yeah. So my daughter's gotten upset with me several times because I'm cheap. I had the $10 Netflix subscription. One screen, that's all I need. I'm not watching two at once. So if they want to watch Netflix, they get their own subscription or wait till I'm done. That's kind of how or they can sit and watch whatever I'm watching.
Yeah.
So, but I got an email about a month ago, and Netflix is like, hey, we don't offer your plan anymore, so we upgraded.
Yeah.
So it's like $15.49 a month, and two screens at once. I'm like, I have one TV. Okay, I guess.
I have four.
Like, we have, there's one in my office.
Yeah.
Because I took the TV out of the bedroom. So we have living room, the playroom, that's where Xbox gets played, my office, and then my daughter has one upstairs. So but I don't watch those. I just watch the one in the living room, and one of the offices there. I was watching the weather today. Otherwise, I watch financial news.
That's pretty much all this. I mean, that's this one in here. I've got this one. We got one in what we call the courtroom. It's when you walk in the back door. Mm-hmm. It's right there, with the kitchen. Lee's got one up in her sewing room upstairs. The one that we watch the most is the 50 or 55 or whatever it is in our bedroom, because we don't have a living room.
Yeah.
We did away with the living room. It's her museum now with all her old antique sewing machines and stuff. And so we literally treat our bedroom like kind of an ensuite type thing. We got two beds in there because we don't sleep in the same bed. Yeah. As you get older, you'll figure out that's the strat.
We're close to that.
Yeah, that's the strat. And, you want to have a little hanky-panky, you can meet in the middle. We got a couch. She's got her desk in there with her older computer, because I got her, behind me, I've got her actual gaming machine. And we just sit there and watch TV. So I do pay for the $19.99 Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like you. I'm the only one that ever watches it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I paying? And here's the reason why. Unless something's changed, I don't think the $15.99, I could be wrong, does 4K.
Pretty sure I've never seen 4K, but my big TV in the main room isn't a 4K.
Yeah.
It's a projector, and that 4K projector is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Our TV in our bedroom is a 4K.
Yeah. The one I just took out of the bedroom, it's now in the playroom. It's 4K.
Yeah. That one's the only 4K we have. And the only reason why we have it is Tyler won it back when he worked for the other company he worked for here. Road. And he was like, I don't have a place for it. Here, I won't watch it anyway. And so he gave it to us. But yeah, the streaming stuff's gotten crazy. I mean, I look at it, I'm paying, Disney Plus just went up like another $1 or $2. Amazon Prime, they did a dick move several months back where it was like, hey, we know that you're basically paying $150 or $180 a year for Prime. Yeah. And along with that, you get all of this commercial-free content.
We've added so much value.
And our costs have gone up. Now we're going to start doing commercials.
Yeah.
So if you don't want commercials, it's $2.99 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm paying the $2.99 because I fucking hate commercials.
I'll use it for potty breaks. I'm not paying them more money.
I mean, I pay for YouTube Premium, and whenever someone like Philip DeFranco does his show, I don't get ads, but he does his own ads.
Right.
I fast forward through them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying $14 a month to have to sit here and listen to his. I know that's how part of the way he makes money. I get that. But no, I'm just not doing that.
And he doesn't get less money if you fast forward.
No. No, because the only way
he gets paid if he says it, and he said it,
yeah,
we're done.
And he probably gets paid by the number of people that goes to the link and does whatever. So
I can't see that being a big thing, because I mean, I've only bought one thing off of from a YouTube advertiser, and Smarter Every Day was talking about Raycon, the earbuds. I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to try those. All right, so I went in and put in Dustin's code, whatever code you said.
Yeah, promo code.
Like he might, give him 30 cents or whatever, and they're actually decent.
Yeah, Philip actually shields for those too occasionally. Now, there's a guy I used to follow. His name is escaping me. He used to work for Microsoft. He's a really heavy-set guy.
You're still going to have to narrow that down.
I know. His real name is Jerry Barnacles. Okay, so I used to watch him whenever he'd be live on Twitch and what have you. Mm-hmm. He absolutely rails against Raycom. He said they are the sorriest piece of shit earbuds that you can buy. They're crap.
Like, how long ago was this?
About 3 years ago. So I don't know. I always looked at
what headphones did he vote for?
I don't know. Well, he was going through this whole thing talking about streamers and all that shield for these various products that aren't actually really good. Yeah. And he put Raycom in that, and that's how he come up with that. I personally don't know. I wouldn't think that Philip DeFranco would shield for a product that he doesn't actually think is good.
Yeah.
So I think Barnacles may be wrong on that one. But
I have experience of one pair. They sound great. I mean, there are things I don't like about them.
Yeah.
Like if you press the button on the right bud, it's one tick volume up.
Mm-hmm.
You press the button on the left, it's one tick volume down. But to pause it, it's a double tap on either one. Or no, a double tap on the right. But to skip, you have to tap the damn thing 3 times. And you're shoving it at your ear to push this button.
Yeah, no thanks.
And so I just use my phone, but they sound great. They seal, they're lighter than the AirPods.
Yeah.
They don't have the stem coming out. So they're just nice. Mm-hmm. They do not have a microphone, so you can't make calls on it.
Yeah.
That's not what they're for.
Right.
And they were $80.
Yeah, I thought about trying a pair, but
when you take the earbuds out, it doesn't notify your phone. Mm-hmm. So you can lay them down and it'll still be playing whatever you had. Mm-hmm. And it don't pause themselves. But to me, they fit better. And then in effect sound better than my AirPods Pro.
I don't have any AirPods. I don't have any wireless at all.
I was incredibly impressed with the noise cancellation on the AirPods Pro. Riding in the BMW with those AirPods in makes my BMW feel like a Tesla.
Because you can't hear any of it.
Feels and sounds like a Tesla because I can't hear it. I can't feel it.
Yeah.
But I'm moving.
Yeah. Is that safe?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But I didn't take the whole trip. But it was interesting to find. It was just, this is what a Tesla feels like. Yeah. It's completely silent.
Yeah, we actually have an article about AirPod Pro later on. First, though, we got an article over at Daily Diet. Lied to me and admitted it. Woman switches entire family from AT&T to Verizon. Trades iPhones. 9 months later, she gets a $550 charge. So we have a TikTok user. She called out Verizon for allegedly lying about the trade-in value of her iPhones after switching from AT&T. She was initially promised $900 per phone, but was hit with a $550 charge 9 months later when Verizon reassessed the value. Despite her complaints, Verizon's customer service allegedly admitted to misleading her. The incident sparked widespread discussion, with many commenters sharing similar experiences of unexpected charges after trade-in deals. She's now considering switching carriers if Verizon doesn't resolve the issue. I wonder who she's going to switch to, because she went from AT&T to Verizon. I mean, she's going to go to T-Mobile.
I don't know where she is. I mean, if she's in the metro area, T-Mobile's an option.
Yeah. I've never, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I have traded in one phone to Verizon, and it's when I moved from my iPhone SE to my 13 that I currently have. and I forget how much they gave me. It was only like $200 or $300.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have an issue there. But the only problem that I have with Verizon on this is why did they wait 9 months?
Probably a logistics thing where they, got back to the depot and took that long to be assessed.
Because I know the way it works is you basically check off, like, are there any cracks in the screen?
Right.
No, blemishes.
Does it power on?
Does it power on, and all this other kind of stuff. And you're supposed to gauge the quality, like, bad, good, fair, whatever, excellent.
I mean, if you lie, they're going to find out.
Oh, yeah. So I have to wonder if that's what happened with her.
I mean, they might have been misleading because they let it go 9 months.
Yeah, when she says customer
she got
service,
$900 per phone.
That's what they said.
And then got a bill for $550 total.
That's what it says.
So they gave her.
I don't know how many phones she did, but
what?
So,
well, yeah, I guess you didn't say how many phones.
Yeah, it doesn't say how many.
I was thinking 4 phones.
Well, I mean, if you went that way, yeah,
you're $3,600, and no, I'm kidding. This one's broken. You owe us $550 back. But that's not a terrible thing.
No, I mean, could you come up with $550? I mean, okay, that might be an issue, but
right. Yeah.
So suddenly your bill went from a couple $100 to an additional $550.
And I think if everything was on the up and up, Verizon probably should present that as, well, let's do a payment option.
Yeah. I mean, pay $50.
It wasn't what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think they gave me an $830 credit for my 11.
That's pretty good.
It's because it was flawless.
Yeah.
Had the original screen on it, not a scratch.
That is one thing.
And everything worked, and I didn't tell a lie.
That is one thing I have not been able to figure out. And of course, I'm going to walk out of here today and drop my phone and bust it all to hell. I have never understood how some people can have a phone for just a few months, and then it looks like they have put it through a fucking trash compactor.
Yeah, they went through an action movie with it.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing with your phone? I mean, I make sure that, where is my phone? Oh, it's back there. I make sure that I have a slimline case because I hate bulky cases.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I do not put screen protectors on them because I'm anti-screen protector.
Really?
Yeah. I have never found until I saw a product that I forget who makes it, but MKBHD showed it the other day where it's this boxy looking thing and you literally, and they said for the promo, we want you to do this blindfolded. And so he did it. You basically put the phone in this little box type thing, you position it and you pull something and then you take it out of the box and it puts a screen protector on it that is flawless. You cannot tell that there's actually a protector until you actually pick it up and look like that. And I forget the company that makes it. But yeah, I've never been happy with any of the screen protector options. And so what
context, I've just handed Donovan my phone. That's a tempered glass privacy.
Yeah, who makes it?
I don't know. Some Chinese company on Amazon. Plenty of people make them, but I got a 4-pack.
Yeah.
And each one came with a frame.
Yeah.
So you set the frame on the phone and you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And you push one side of it and it slowly adheres and you just kind of squeeze out the edge and you're done. No bubbles.
I've always had trouble with the bubbles. And
there's a technique.
And it also seemed to darken the screens for me too. So
I've never had one darken the screen except for this one, but that's because it just kind of prevents or
somebody looking over your shoulder. Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. And I think MKBHD is also kind of anti-screen protector too. Because here's my thing. As long as the slimline case I have comes up above the edges, if I drop my phone, even if it lands face down, the case protects it.
Unless it falls on rocks.
Well, then why am I dropping it? That's the question.
Why do you drop it otherwise?
I don't.
It's a mistake.
I don't drop my phone.
The reason I don't have this case to protect my phone. I have this case so the phone does not slip from my hand. That's the reason I have a case.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I have a bare iPhone, it's slippery.
Yeah, it is. When I first got my iPhone SE, and my daughter was like, every time I pull out of my pocket, she'd go, I don't like that, because there was no case on it.
Yeah.
And it was slippery. And I'd take it and I'd spin it in my fingers, and she's like, you're going to drop that damn thing. And I'm like, yeah, I better get a case. And so I always go with these see-through slimline cases that cost me about like $12 or $15 or something from Amazon.
Yeah, it's probably less than 20.
Yeah. All right, so Apple, the EU has given Apple 6 months to make cross-device interoperability easier. They're taking action against Apple for not complying with the Digital Markets Act, DMA, giving the company 6 months to improve cross-device interoperability. As a designated gatekeeper, Apple must ensure that its devices can effectively connect with non-Apple products like smartwatches and headphones. The commission aims to clarify how Apple can achieve this and will evaluate its processes for handling developers' requests for interoperability. There's more to it, but basically what they're saying is, I don't know how I feel about this, because they're essentially saying, look, if you're going to sell Apple phones, you're going to sell iPhones and devices over here in the EU, then you need to make sure that Samsung smartwatch can sync with your phone, or your Apple Watch can sync with an Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big no.
It's been over 20 years, but it might have been the EU where they had to pull Internet Explorer or make Internet Explorer uninstallable from Windows. I had a huge problem with that. I'm like, it's part of the operating system.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned. And they wrote it.
Yeah, but they claimed it was anti-competitive.
Well, it's horseshit. I mean, it's not like I can't install Firefox, Chrome.
Yeah.
Along with all the others. I was just thinking, what? Who are they to tell a company what they can do with their product?
There's a lot of people over here in the U.S., though, that really look to what the EU is doing as the standard that we should be doing over here.
Yeah.
And on some things, I can kind of guess go with it. But
like GDPR? I mean,
fucking cookie banners, man. But anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah, more privacy on our data. I get that. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. But don't tell Apple that they've got to figure out a way to basically open up their ecosystem to allow non-Apple devices to connect in a way that is going to cause security vulnerabilities. I don't care who tells me, no, it's not. Yes, it is. There's a reason
Somebody will find it.
Somebody will find it.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have to fix their own vulnerabilities that they introduce in their own software. The last thing they need to do is have to deal with the fact that, well, now the Apple Watch is compromised because it's connected to a Pixel 9. And there's a vulnerability in the Pixel 9, supposedly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying for argument's sake.
That sounds like a real story.
So I'm not in agreement with this. I mean, if you want an Apple Watch, get a fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to get an iPhone, then you can't get an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
You know? Because Google's watch and Samsung's watch works with their phones. I think a Google watch will work with a Samsung, and the Samsung will work with a Google. I think.
Sure. Yeah.
They're not going to work with an iPhone. If I've already got an iPhone, nobody in their right damn mind should be wanting to get a Google watch or a Samsung's watch. I don't understand it.
I'm wearing my son's Garmin watch.
But it doesn't connect to your phone, does it?
It do.
But over what, Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's a simple Bluetooth connection, and it shares data with its own app.
Exactly. Okay.
It doesn't have to be integrated. It's not integrated in iOS.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
I don't see what the problem is then. If they can do that,
yeah,
then why is the EU saying they've got to be more friendly natively?
I don't know. Apparently, if they fail to meet the new requirements, it could face fines of up to 10% of its global annual revenue, which we know that's a shit ton of money.
Sure. But all they got to do is go, all right, you don't want iPhones? Take all the lawmakers' iPhones. You know they use iPhones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be a market that, I mean, that's one way to prove you've got the cojones. It's like, okay.
You can tell Europe to go to hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. I mean, they can suffer for a year or two. They got the funds. I mean, they basically, China, they haven't told China that, but that's basically where they are with China. I mean, iPhone is like number 3 or number 4 in China. iPhone's only number 1 in the United States, I think. It may still be number 1 in the EU, but most other countries, the percentage is higher for Android. That's because they most of those countries have cheap Android phones, like $200, $300, $400 Android phones. So the ecosystem for most of those countries typically are Android, not iPhone. So
I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure something out.
All right, back to AI. Microsoft announces plans to reopen 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant to support AI. How? Tell me it's the end time without telling me it's the end time. Microsoft has announced plans to revive a reactor at Pennsylvania's 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant, shut down since 2019 to supply energy to its data centers which support AI. The 20-year deal with Constellation Energy aims to reactivate the Unit 1 reactor by 2028, pending regulatory approval. This would make 3 Mile Island the first decommissioned U.S. nuclear plant to reopen. The revived plant is expected to generate over 800 megawatts of electricity and create thousands of jobs, boosting Pennsylvania's economy. This move aligns with tech companies' growing need for reliable, carbon-free energy. No, this move aligns with tech companies' need for more power for their AI implementations.
Yeah, but they're still maintaining a lower carbon footprint.
They are. I'm very positive on nuclear energy.
Yeah, I am too.
You know, I think that's the way we should be heading. But
I just, of course, it might have been on Twitter, but
oh boy.
It wasn't. It didn't sound like bullshit.
Yeah,
it was like the groundbreaking on the next nuclear power plant in, I think it was in Idaho. I didn't go research it. I just saw it and said, neat.
Well, you know, we have one here in Georgia. Vogel,
yeah,
plant Vogel.
I've driven by it.
Yeah.
on the way to soccer.
I think they fired up reactor number 3 recently, or number 2. Anyway, it was way over budget, which then Georgia Power went, "Hey, commission, can we raise our rates?" Yeah. So we've got this extra power capacity, but we're so many billions of dollars over. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that toll booth in there for a little while longer.
Yeah. If they got to do it, that's probably, it's not a bad thing. I mean, if they can safely reactivate that reactor and some clean energy, help the power grid, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and that's one reactor. Aren't there 3 there?
I think one's damaged, and that's the reason why the whole place got shut down.
Okay, well, but it's been offline for
since 2019.
5 years.
Yeah,
and they might have it operational again in
2028,
another 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like they're going to be responsible about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that project manager.
Nope. I do not. Kaspersky, which is always a name that I love to pronounce, deletes itself and installs Ultra AV antivirus without warning. So, of course, Kaspersky is the Russian cybersecurity firm. They have started deleting their antivirus software from U.S. customers' devices, replacing it with Ultra AV's antivirus without prior notice, which I had no idea what Ultra AV was.
Never heard of it.
It's owned by a Boston-based company called the Pango Group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds legit.
So this move follows Kaspersky's decision to shut down its U.S. operations after being added to the U.S. government's entity list over national security concerns. Those users, caught off guard by the sudden switch, reported seeing Ultra AV software installed without warning, causing confusion and concerns about malware. The transition is linked to a U.S. ban on Kaspersky's sales and updates effective September 29th, 2024.
Hey, I think they did the right thing, but they probably should have notified people.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kind of things would erupt if they'd sent notification.
What? Hey, we've due to prohibitions by the United States government, we are removing our software.
And we're putting some you've never heard of on
We're putting
instead.
Pango Group's Ultra AV.
Sounds like an investment firm.
I like it. Have you ever used Kaspersky? I haven't.
I've come across it in the wild, but no.
Yeah, I've never intentionally installed it on anybody's computer.
I've heard. I mean, every time I'm reading about a breach or some malware, quite often I would see Kaspersky Labs mentioned, in the article and their analysis of something. So I mean, I assume they're a legitimate company. It's just they're in the wrong place.
Just because they're Russian.
There's nothing wrong with being Russian.
No.
Except if you're trying to deal in the United States at the present time.
I mean, there's some fine-looking Russian women. Anyway, moving on. So Apple's AirPods Pro 2. You have the Pros or the Pro 2s?
Just one.
Okay. So the Pro 2s have received FDA approval to function as over-the-counter hearing aids through a software update. This new hearing aid feature, in quotes, allows users with mild to moderate hearing loss to adjust sound frequencies to amplify voices and key sounds. The update, which will be available in iOS 18, lets users access the feature through settings or by uploading hearing test results. This development follows the FDA's 2022 decision to permit the sale of hearing aids without a prescription, making hearing support more accessible for millions of Americans. I think this is a good thing. I think it was a good thing whenever the FDA went, you know what, you don't have to have a prescription for this.
Yeah.
I know that I have reduced hearing in my left ear.
As do I.
And let's see, 2014, I had a legitimate hearing test done because we had to have them done, I think, once every 2 years at CPI because we were in a
right.
factory, you know, noise all the time because we had to wear earplugs. And even then, mine was reduced. I forget how much. And I've done some there's an app that I've got on my phone that I've actually tested it. So that's the reason why my wife jokes about the fact that I was like, well, I didn't hear you. She's like, well, I was on your right side, not your left. And I legitimately, because she insists on having the television at night, but we've come to this compromise of where I put it on 5. But if I want dead silence, I have to sleep on my right side so that I cover my right ear because I can't hear out of my left ear that low volume. So
yeah. When Beth and I are laying in the bed, and I'm facing her, I've got my right ear in the pillow.
Mm-hmm.
She's facing away from me. She's talking at a reasonably normal volume.
You can't
I
hear.
don't hear. It's just muffled.
Yeah.
It's like, and I have to turn my head and go, what?
Yeah. Same scenario. Except we're on the way our beds are positioned now is her headboard's up against the one wall. I'm up against the opposite wall. So if I'm turned on my right side, I don't hear shit if she's saying anything. Another thing dealing with RCS. This one was comical to me. When iOS 18's new, with their RCS support, Android users in mixed group chats can now rename the group for both Android and iOS users, a shift from previous behavior where renaming on Google Messages was visible only to the Android user. Apple has long allowed iOS users to rename iMessage group chats, but this extension now applies to Android users as well. Messaging apps like WhatsApp offer more control over renaming permissions, but Android users should be cautious to avoid unattended or inappropriate names when renaming group chats with iPhone users.
Yeah, I could totally see a guy's getting in a group chat and he doesn't want to be there. He's been on it for years.
So he renames it.
And so his view of it, he's named it Those Dicks. And now all of a sudden,
it would
thanks to advances in technology and partnerships.
Yep.
True feelings come out.
Yep. Previously, his iPhone peers wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
His Android peers probably would have. But then again, it's also I don't know. I don't do group chats in text often. I've got a client that'll group me into one, but we're all iPhones, I think. Otherwise, we use Signal because, well, that's just what it is. I do have WhatsApp, but I use Signal. We started out with that. WhatsApp had the shit stain of Facebook on it, and it still does. Mm-hmm. So none of my family want to use it. But that's so wild. Google Android users before it's like, yeah, those iPhone dicks, and then they just rename it, and it's like, hey, brother, I can see it now.
Yeah, I know what you think now. See you at church Sunday.
That's it. All right. The final story, and this right here, this should be the biggest, absolutely the biggest thing that nobody is really talking about with the introduction of the iPhone 16. Apple has decided to stop including the stickers in the box.
That's newsworthy. I mean, somebody had to write an article about it.
It literally, it's at 9 to 5 Mac. They have stopped including the stickers in the box with the iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro, marking the end of a long-standing tradition. Stickers will only be available upon request at Apple stores, not from third-party retailers or through online orders. This move aligns with Apple's environmental goals as the company aims to be carbon neutral by 2030 and has transitioned to entirely fiber-based packaging for the iPhone 16. It follows the trend set by other recent Apple products such as the Vision Pro and iPad, if I can see it, iPod, I'm going back, iPad models, which also omitted the stickers. I don't know about you, but I always threw the stickers away.
First couple of times, well, there's one right there.
You don't see that. That's thrown away.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, I put one on my daughter's Chromebook just for shiggles.
Yeah.
But I read this, that we were going to be talking about this tonight, and I thought, I'm not sure the iPhone 15 came with stickers. And, I mean, I don't.
You don't still have them?
I used to keep the box at least until the next year or whatever. Apparently, I've thrown the box away, and I don't remember whether there were any stickers in there.
I still have my 13, and I've got my last this Series 9 watch box up there. So, but yeah, the stickers, I'd forgotten they were actually back there. That's what I mean when I throw them away. I basically just took them out and put them somewhere, and it was like, oh, these are here. They get buried, whatever. I mean, I wasn't jonesing for Apple stickers, but yeah, this is a non-story. I put it in here mainly just to make fun of it.
It didn't make my Twitter feed, so I guess it. I mean,
oh God,
who knows what kind of conspiracy could have been spun out of that one?
I don't know. That could have been good. Could have been good. Our good friend of the show, Sam Lewis, who has his own podcast network over at tscn.tv. We've podcasted a lot together over the last 12 years or whatever. That's actually how I met him. Was started podcasting in 2011, and we got into this mentorship type thing with Cliff Ravenscraft, who was the podcast answer man at the time. And that's how Sam and I met. So anyway, he has purchased the AirPods 4, and he has sent me a review that I'm going to tack on at the end of this episode for everybody to enjoy. So he's given us that. He told me he was probably going to do it, and then he sent it to me yesterday, and I said, yep, I'll tack it on to the end of this episode. He's hoping, because he's in college right now. He's a 30-something-year-old man that's in college. I mean, hey, more power to him.
If you're rich, you got to find stuff to do.
He's not rich.
He's in college. He must be.
I'll let you have that conversation with him.
Still paying for my tuition and somehow my daughter's.
Anyway, right now his schedule, he's actually in class at 5:00. So he's hoping that in the fall he can join us for, maybe an episode a month or something like that, which by then I'll have it set up where I can do that. But right now I don't. I'm not connected to where I can do that. But anyway, and there's Thunder. So you got anything to add before we, this thing's almost...
No, I didn't bring any more...
Any more Twitter news?
Any more Trump clips?
I like it.
I
don't think there were any more, other than...
there have to have been. But I don't watch any videos.
Well, he did say yesterday at some rally that he was going to be the protector of women, and I'll just leave that one there with you and let that kind of...
I'll protect my own women.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
But no, I've not heard his voice since the debate.
Oh, you lucky devil!
So I've not bothered for any more sound bites.
You don't watch the YouTube stuff that I watch, but you have no choice. I don't think
I could stand YouTube right now because I'm not a premium subscriber. I'd have to watch all the political bashing before each video.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, that's probably one of the best decisions I ever made was going with YouTube Premium.
I thought it was going to be $5, maybe $10 a month.
That's $14.
No, that's just because I don't use YouTube.
Aren't you rich and white?
I'm only white.
All right. I see that truck.
And that was not a choice. I'm only white. But I didn't have a truck payment before this one. I paid that other one off. I paid in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a truck payment since 2015.
I haven't had a car payment since 2016 or 2017, somewhere in there. 2017, I think. I haven't had a car payment.
The BMW is cheap, and it's $300 a month. I think the insurance is more.
Yeah. Lee's Explorer, we paid off, is an 03. I paid it off in 5 years. That's the first vehicle I ever paid off in my life, was that one. And it was a $33,000. This is an 03. $33,000 or $34,000, zero interest.
Yeah.
I qualified for at that point, and I was like, hell yeah.
Those were good days.
You don't see those anymore.
Nope.
All right, so if you got questions or comments about the show, tell us if we're doing a good job, we're doing a shitty job, or whatever. You can send an email, podcast@southgeeknews.com. If you prefer, your flavor is to call and leave a scathing voicemail or a very positive voicemail, whatever you want to do, or you want to send a text. That number is, for both of those, is 229-234-1307. That's 229-234-1307. If you call in, it will say Radio Tift. That's because this is the main voicemail line for TMW, which is Tifton Media Works. I'm probably going to change the greeting, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So anyway, that is it. That is the show. We'll be back hopefully in 2 weeks if Hurricane Helene doesn't wipe us out off the face of this South Georgia area, and we'll talk about more tech news then.
Right. Roll in credits.
That's it. Bye.
Hey there, South Geeks. I guess that's how we're going to put this. Samuel Lewis over here at tscn.tv, and even though I can't worm my way into the show just yet because of work stuff and everything like that, who knows? It'll probably happen. It's always been an inevitability in any version of this show that I show up in some form or fashion. I did want to show you guys a little bit of a review. So, I got a hold of something from the new Apple announcement. I'm holding in my hands right now the new AirPods 4 with noise cancellation. So, I had been waiting for these to come out, a new upgrade, because I needed a new set of AirPods. My old ones weren't necessarily giving out, but the case was being a bit finicky occasionally, and I really wanted one with wireless charging because I have a charging station that wants them, but I didn't have any that could wireless charge to actually do it. So I bit the bullet, since it had been years since we got some new AirPods, and got some new AirPods. These things are amazing. I'm just going to say that right now. What an amazing upgrade. And honestly, I love the noise cancellation. I'm going to say that right now. It really does work. And it works without doing the stupid thing that drives me insane, where you get that little, and I know there's probably a technical term for it. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to jokingly call it the little plastic nubbin bit that they shove in your ear and actually seals everything off. That's how most people get that noise cancellation, right? Is they literally seal your ear off, and then you can't hear things because there's a barrier in there, and then they do some fancy stuff with microphones to get the rest of it down. This somehow does that without having that, and I mean, it's not perfection in and of itself. There's some things you can hear. There's things like that. But it's so noticeable that I've had a couple of shocking moments with them, let's put it that way, and I'll tell you guys about that in a second. But anyway, first of all, the case. The case is pretty nice. They have done some upgrades with it. Now the light's in the front instead of on the inside. The AirPods themselves now go in it to a case a different way, which will probably make some charging issues that the previous generation had not have that problem anymore, I think. I did have to get used to putting them into the case a different way than they used to be. Also, they've got a different shape now. They said it's with a bunch of research that they've done and stuff like that it's got the new shape. I was worried about that. I put them in my ears, and it was a bit of an adjustment for like maybe a minute. And then I was perfectly fine after that. So yeah, these AirPods are perfectly fine shape-wise. They fit in your ear. I think because I was so used to the tighter of the older ones, I was like, are these going to fall out of my ear? They haven't. I've even done the ridiculous shake your head around test, and they just haven't fallen out for me. So they work for me, at least. As for the noise cancellation, you can set them to things like, it's got different things. You can turn the noise cancellation completely off if you need to in situations. So it essentially is an adaptation depending on where you go. So like it's got a noise control setting. You can turn it to transparent or off, so either you can hear some noises or you can just turn the noise cancellation completely off if you don't need it. It'll let you save some battery life and things like that. But I have noticed little situations where I kind of like the noise cancellation. Like, for instance, I am in my studio right now and I had to go make a phone call today. I always put AirPods in whenever I make my phone calls because honestly, I just don't like holding the phone up to my ear. Call me a weirdo, but there you go. I hear people better when I'm on my earbuds. So with that being said, I popped these things in, went to the, phone call area, and then suddenly I realized this room seems a bit quieter. And then I looked off to my side and I realized I had my fan on that doesn't get picked up by this main microphone because I've got it lower to the ground, like audio tricks that podcasters figure out, right? So you hardly ever hear the microphone, or hear the fan on the microphone, but it's there and it's running right now. And I essentially could barely hear it. Like it was to the point where it was so obvious that it had been canceled out that when I did pull the earbud out of my ear and I could hear the fan again, it almost felt like it was roaring in my ear. Like it was such a difference that it was a shock, like almost a, oh my God, shock to my system whenever I pulled that AirPod out of my ear. So that kind of proved to me that it does work. I needed some sort of practical application, and the practical application presented itself without me even needing to. But yeah, it can do spatial audio. It's got this neat thing called conversation awareness that I tested with my mom the other day, where it doesn't make it self-aware when someone is talking to you. Because I was curious. I was like, does it notice when people talk to you? It doesn't seem to, unless we were doing something wrong. What it does is it notices when you are talking. So if someone gets your attention, they're like, hey, and you go, oh, hey, and then you start talking to them. It notices that you're talking to someone, and instead of you having to reach up and shut your earbuds off, it just does that automatically. It will first lower the volume down, and then if it realizes that the conversation is still going on, it shuts the audio completely off, right? So and then essentially you will be having that conversation, and the thing is smart enough to not, they just stopped talking and snap everything back on. Instead, it gives a pretty sizable, not annoying, but sizable enough for it to be smart gap to let you know, this conversation could be going back and forth like this, so I need to give it enough that way I don't interrupt the conversation midway. So it's got a smart enough amount of time that I kind of like that. Instead of the tapping the thing, you do have a little button on each of the AirPods now that you kind of click, like once for play and pause, twice for going forward, 3 times for going back. Or if you got a call, answer the call with 1, and then mute yourself or unmute yourself with 1, and then 2 to hang up, So it's things like that. You can even press and hold to go between listening modes, so you don't have to necessarily go to your phone. But whenever you do have the AirPods in and you go to your phone's control settings, the slider bar for the volume, if you click that, it will also give you all of the different settings, noise cancellation wise, that you can set your AirPods to. So if you go, I really don't need you to be paying attention for voices, you can turn that off, especially if you're someone like me that talks to themselves. I haven't had a problem with this, but I'm just going to tongue-in-cheek say I can see it becoming a thing. Like I talk to podcasts whenever I listen to them. It's a silly thing, but there we are. And yeah, I could see that being a problem. So I usually don't use the voice cancellation unless I think I'm going to be in a situation. Like, if I'm going to go down to my parents', then I'll go down there, and just in case I run into them, I'll have the voice cancellation turned on. But, so it's situational. It's not you have to have all these features turned on all the time and drain the battery. If you want to turn some stuff off, you can totally turn some stuff off. So I like that. You've got choice, which is weird for an Apple product. So we're going to love what we got. But yeah, so essentially these AirPods have been a fantastic upgrade for me. I love the sound of them. I was thinking about recording something with them. I recorded a video with them just fine, and they sounded pretty good. But when I tried to record with the audio apps, for some reason, I think there might be a glitch because they did not sound as good as it did when recording a video. So the audio sounded good, recording a video, but it didn't sound good recording audio. So I don't know if there's just some glitch in there that needs to be ironed out in the system. But, otherwise, what can I say? Good to go. And when it comes to recording audio with my phone, I've got some fancy new microphones that I just picked up anyway that I'm probably going to be using for that anyway. So no skin off my back whatsoever. But yeah, I think that's all of the stuff I can tell you about the AirPods 4 with the active noise cancellation. I don't do numbers with ratings. I'm not that guy, because then the cognitive dissonance of you gave this a number, but you didn't give this a number. I stay away from that altogether. Just say thumbs up. I enjoyed them, and it's a purchase well spent. So hope you guys are having a good day and looking forward to hearing the episode, because I enjoyed that first one. So let's keep the SouthTech train running this time. See you guys.
This has been a production of Tifton Media Works. Check out all our podcasts by visiting tiftonmediaworks.com.